This is a lesson for the 4th episode of Sherlock Elementary. Please go to my website. I've got 24 lessons for 24 episodes of this Sherlock, so there's loads of vocabulary, grammar, and you're welcome to do these exercises for the following episodes of Sherlock, and then you can revise it by watching these lessons on YouTube. So in these lessons I'm just reminding my students of the vocabulary which they picked up from this particular episode. At the start of this episode, Watson talked about an ambush date. Now, she was speaking metaphorically, of course, because an ambush is usually used for the military, and it's when soldiers wait for the enemy. They wait for the enemy to come into a trap, to come into their place, and then they kill them all, they annihilate them all in an ambush. And so an ambush is something you're not expecting. It's when you walk into a trap, and Watson walked into her friend's trap because she suddenly ambushed her unexpectedly by leaving her with this attractive guy, and Watson called it an ambush. She was a little bit uncomfortable about it. Okay, but usually it's used, for the military, but it can be used metaphorically. They also speak about a warrant. Now, a warrant is permission to look inside your house. If it's a search warrant, it's what the police need if they're going to look inside your house for anything. But please remember that this word is connected to warranty, which is a guarantee, which is a promise that your product, your item which you have bought, will be replaced or something like that, or your money will be refunded. But usually it will be replaced if it breaks in the first year or the first 2 years. That would be called a 2-year warranty. So that's a bit different from warrant, but just to remind you. There's also mention of an overdose in this episode. So an overdose is when somebody has too much of a certain drug and it's very dangerous. They can die. You can die of an overdose. Now, there was a strange subplot in this episode about the person who Watson was dating. He had already got married, and his story for why he had already got married but he hadn't told Watson was that his wife was looking for political asylum, and he had married her because she would have been killed if she had stayed in her own country. And so this means that she was in danger in her own country, and so it's when a migrant goes to another country and wants to be able to live in that country because it's dangerous in their own country. We call this political asylum. And the people who come and ask for political asylum are called asylum seekers. Asylum seekers. Okay, but obviously migrant is a more general word, just meaning somebody who moves from one place to another to live or to settle down. Okay, there's also the word a flair. He talks about his flair for our evolving mother tongue. Basically, he's boasting here. He's boasting that his skill, a flair is like a skill, a capability, a good capability. He has skills in English. He's very skillful. The good word here is articulate. Articulate means you're good with words. You're very good with making sentences. And Sherlock boasts. He says that he has a flair for our evolving mother tongue. He means a flair for English. So if you have a flair for something, it means you have a skill, a natural skill for something. Okay, they talk about trace amounts of heroin which were found in the salad. So when you talk about trace amounts of anything, you mean very, very, very small amounts of something. Okay, so trace amounts of heroin means very small amounts of heroin in the salad. Let's come on to verbs now. He says in this episode that he loathes bankers. Okay, a loathe just means hate. Yeah, he hates bankers, he loathes bankers. They talk about a guy who didn't show up at the meeting. Show up, turn up, appear. Very, very common phrasal verb. Please use it. They talk about binging on something. I can't remember what, but binge on alcohol or binge on drugs. This is it's a negative expression meaning that you have a lot of something you shouldn't. You could also binge on chocolate, I suppose. Why not? Or binge on pizza. Okay, he talks about heroin addicts craving oblivion. To crave means to really want, to want something a lot. When you crave something, you want something a lot. We usually use it with pregnant women when they crave different types of food or different types of drinks, strange types of food perhaps. They crave something strange and new. So to crave is really to want, to desire, but very often used in pregnancy. Okay, to slip up means to make a mistake. If you slip up, you make a mistake. If you slip up in the exam, you make a mistake. Maybe you make a lot of mistakes. You slip up many times, you fail the exam. Miss the point. Perhaps I shouldn't have put that. That's a bit easy, isn't it, for an advanced class? But if you miss the point, I mean here the idea. The main idea, the point. Okay, and so that's all. It's quite often used like that. To burst with pride, I think this is also clear, but I want you to notice this word burst, because we use it with a lot of expressions. To burst into tears, to burst out laughing, to burst with pride. There are others as well with burst, I just can't remember them at the moment. But yeah, it's used in a lot of expressions. To hold someone in high esteem, it means to consider someone as a very good person, or a very clever person, or a very talented person. It means that you value them to a great degree. Okay, hold someone in high esteem. So who do you hold in high esteem? Who do you admire? It means, who do you admire? Who do you hold in high esteem? Okay, to suffocate means to die because of a lack of oxygen. So you can suffocate because you've choked, you can suffocate because you've drowned, you can suffocate in a fire because there's no oxygen. There's a lot of different ways you can suffocate, but it means basically, you know, maybe somebody strangles you. From the first episode, someone strangles you, you will suffocate. So it means die because of a lack of oxygen. Drown obviously means die underwater, so you suffocate because you're underwater. Some more verbs. To let someone in on a secret. Please remember this. This means to reveal a secret to one person, to let them in on the secret, to allow them to know the secret as well. I think the one of the bankers says to Holmes, "Let me let you in on a little secret. Everybody is a sociopath." Okay, to frame someone means to set someone up. So I believe that the secretary here was framing her boss. She was killing all of these people, and she was framing him, really. She was setting him up as the most likely suspect, as the prime suspect. Sherlock at the end categorically refused to dig his own grave, and I just like the adverb collocation because they go very well together. Categorically refuse. So I absolutely refuse to dig my own grave. I hope you remember grave is the place where the coffin is put when somebody's died, and dig is a very simple word, but a lot of people forget this word because you don't often use it. So to dig your own grave. To invigorate means to fill you with energy. Yeah, and so coffee invigorates me in the mornings. I don't know about you, what you use to invigorate the body. But Sherlock talks about pure oxygen invigorating his body. He wants the ambulance driver to give him some pure oxygen. Lastly, if you keep a lid on something, it means you keep something secret. It's an idiom, meaning if you need to keep a lid on some information, you need to keep something secret. So do you have any information you need to keep a lid on? Answer that question and you'll practice this vocabulary. Okay, some adjectives. Articulate, it means that you have a flair for English. It means you have a flair for any language, actually, but articulate, it means a good speaker. A good speaker of a language uses a wide range of vocabulary and grammar. That person is articulate. We offer our sincere condolences when somebody has died, usually. You offer your condolences. You offer your sincere, and sincere just means honest. It means honest and genuine. Your sincere condolences means you're sorry for that person's loss. Watson almost became an unwitting adulteress. Adulteress is somebody who has an affair with a married man, a woman who has an affair with a married man, and if you're unwitting, you don't know you're an adulteress. So Watson didn't know that her date was married, and so she was an unwitting adulteress. Well, she didn't actually go back with him, and so I don't think she was an unwitting adulteress, but she would have been if she had returned home with him, perhaps. So yeah, unwitting, unknowing. Cunning and meticulous. This was the murderer. The secretary was cunning and meticulous. Cunning means very crafty or very sly. Yeah, two other good words for cunning: crafty, sly. Meticulous means you are attentive to details, very attentive to details. So this lady was very attentive to the details of each and every murder, and each and every murder she made it look like an accident. She was a meticulous planner. Are you a meticulous planner at work? Do you like to be attentive to all the little details? Are you highly organised? Because usually if you're meticulous, you're highly organised as well. And are you cunning? This is a little bit different because it means that you're crafty. You have crafty plans, cunning plans. But she was certainly cunning because she was ready to do anything to get where she wanted. She was ambitious as well. Okay, and awkward, it means uncomfortable. So an awkward moment they spoke about here. Okay, I hope this vocabulary is all clear. I'm going to put some questions under the video for you to answer, so please answer the questions. And yeah, I hope this helps you revise this vocab. I'll keep doing lots more for future episodes too. So thanks for watching. I hope you all like the video, and I hope to see you soon.